To me, Quiet Place Part 1 is one of the pinnacles of modern horror, and I think I share that sentiment with many people. However, I have a hot take. I think Part 2 departs too much from the original essence. Seems like it's more driven by commercial interest than continuing the story that they started in the first one. So with the prequel Day 1, A Quiet Place Day 1, is there a glimmer of hope that they're back at the franchise roots, or is this another way for them to get into our pockets? Let's talk about it. When New York City comes under attack from an alien invasion, a woman and other survivors try to find a way to safety. They soon learn that they must remain absolutely silent as the mysterious creatures fall from the sky or drawn to the slightest sound. Fortunately, I never seen the first two Quiet Places in theaters.
What?
And watching Quiet Place Day 1, it immediately made me regret not watching those first two original films in the theater, in the cinema with other people. First 20 minutes of the film, the movie pulls off what you know about Quiet Place, the most Quiet Place is ever quiet placed in a film. The characters' emotional depth and struggles are equally as powerful and strong and terrifying as the tense feeling of having these death angels coming down on you. The initial invasion from the death angels was spectacular and had me and my audience in awe. Each action sequence had me sweating like Jordan Peele, holding my breath, not wanting to make any noise, clenching my cheeks, holding onto my chair for dear life, as I felt like if I made any noise, I was going to kill someone on screen. I have to give credit where credit is due to director Michael Sarnoski, who takes off the directing duties from John Krasinski. He could have just did a copy and paste of the Quiet Place movies, or even a bunch of the copycat Quiet Place films, and that could have probably did just fine. But just like his subversion of the John Wick genre with his directorial debut Pig, he subverts expectations here, but I think in a really good way with A Quiet Place Day 1. We're making this heart-wrenching emotional story about these characters trying to survive this situation, but the emotional turmoil that they're going through is the most important part. We spend a lot of quiet moments with them just trying to figure out what they want to do in life. In the center of all this is Lupita Nyongo, one of the best actors on the planet in my opinion, one of the most expressive actors going right now. And if you've seen Us, if you've seen other films that she's in, you know she has such emotional range. And with a movie where you have to stay quiet, there's not a lot of dialogue, it's mostly physical language that you're dealing with. Her eyes, her face, her lips, her nose nostrils flaring up tell such a story. She is captivating on the screen, and her character has so much going on. It's a little bit of paper thin in terms of like what is happening with her character, but she brings so much depth to the character with her performance that you can't help but root for her. And right alongside her is Joseph Quinn, who at first I thought was a weird pairing. I thought they were going to try to do a love interesting, and they could have did the easy cash grab thing there and have them be lovey-dovey so you get invested in emotional romance, everybody's happy. But they didn't do that. But these two have really great chemistry right off the bat. I was really invested in their journey in the film, and I think Joseph Quinn did a great job. I think that he has a lot of RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. in him. Even when he first initially shows up on the screen, he kind of looks like a young Robert Downey Jr., and I think he has the acting chops to hold it up. What he did in Stranger Things versus what he's doing in here, two completely different characters. He's grown as an actor, and he does a great job matching every emotional beat that Lupita has to go on while also getting you invested on his little personal journey. And while these actors are trying to go through these emotional tests and give this really great physical performance, the Death Angels are like, psst, I see dead people. Any movement or sound. They're ferocious, as you remember from the first and second movie, but there's so many more, which makes the movie actually a lot scarier than A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2. Those movies are scary, but this one a lot more scary. They didn't rely on jump scares. They relied on tension building and the threat that the character that you might get invested in might be taken next. This film could have easily been a copy and paste of many of the copycat Quiet Place movies, or just retread a lot of the things that the first one did. But what they did here was a really great emotional story that could have done really well even without the aliens coming in, but adding the aliens here creates a really cool sci-fi apocalypse, day one apocalypse film that feels like a road trip where two unexpected people are together on a road trip and they're trying to get to a destination because something is happening. It's like a ticket time clock. We've seen movies like that before, but they have that tension of there being aliens that will kill you if you make the slightest movement. Unfortunately, the movie is not perfect though, even though I think this is a great experience in the cinema, and I think you definitely go check it out with, especially with a bunch of people. There are certain things where they use a lot of horror tropes where people make dumb decisions, which makes it not being like a great movie overall. I think there's certain moments that characters did things I was like, oh my god, this was like just a forced tension in the film. Why would you do this? This character probably would have did this. This animal probably would have made a noise. You know what I'm talking about once you see the film. But it didn't hold back from my enjoyment too much. Despite the subversion of my expectations, despite some of the questionable writing choices for the characters, I think this is a perfect movie-going experience. Everyone in my crowd was absolutely quiet and just tense for everything, made noise when they were supposed to make noise, and I even heard some sniffles towards the end of the film. I think this is a really great movie to go watch with your friends in the summertime. This is like, has a big blockbuster feel. It captures the essence of what made the first Quiet Place so great, while also expanding the world, expanding the scope and how many monsters and everything that's on here, making it a true horror film. With that said, I gotta give Quiet Place Day 1 a C+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate A Quiet Place Day 1? Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the film. If you like my review, hit that like button and attack that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to be notified for my reviews, reactions, live discussions, and much, much more. You can watch more content right now.